What's up guys, Tobias here and welcome to a FIFA 13 community question and answer session. For those of you who don't know or follow them on Twitter, FIFA Soccer Blog actually managed to tweet out and ask the community the questions that wanted to be asked towards those that are helping to create FIFA 13, beg your pardon. So in front of me here I've got quite a lot of the questions. I'm going to do this in two parts. I did this last year for FIFA 12. It went down a bomb on my channel. Everyone enjoyed it because if I didn't make this video then I'm pretty sure a lot of you wouldn't have known these kind of bits of information you're going to find out in this video. So I'm going to make this into two parts. I'm going to kind of try and keep it extremely brief because the answers do go into a lot of detail, so I've tried to cut them down for you. So the first question is then, is the new first touch control any good? And the answer was yes, it is really good. It makes you realise how fantastic FIFA 12's perfect touch system is. So obviously it's a little bit biased towards EA and FIFA. They're not going to slate their own games. So that was the first answer. And then the second question was, will the referees have attributes, e.g. lower league referees not as good as Premier League, making dodgy decisions, whereas Howard Webb would do in the bit blah blah blah. So you get the gist of the question. He goes, not sure about attributes, but they will have different levels of card strictness and foul strictness, where you can see in the pre-game. But apparently this is in FIFA 12. I didn't actually know this was in FIFA 12 myself, but apparently all the different referees had different strictnesses with what was a foul, what wasn't, what was a yellow, what was a red kind of thing. So I didn't actually know that was in FIFA 12, but apparently it is, unbeknown to me, and it is also, they're carrying it over into FIFA 13, which is good to see. Should we expect new animations for dribbling? There's a lot of new animations for FIFA 13 across the board. In fact, more than what we're expecting to see. A lot of this comes in the new complete dribbling system they're bringing into FIFA 13, which is good. Obviously we had the player impact engine in FIFA 12, so now the new thing they're bringing in is a complete dribbling system. Will there be fouls for off the ball collisions and blocking offs? I don't think this was in FIFA 12, because a lot of the time on Ultimate Team, if you weren't on the ball and you were going to make a run for the ball kind of thing, when you're making a second man run and a defender blocks you off and you'd fall to the floor and you'd be absolutely screaming at your TV. That might just be me, but you'd never get a free kick for it. You'd never get a card or anything. The referee would only count fouls that were on the ball. So it's good to see. And the answer, sorry, I don't know if I've even read the answer. Yes, they are. It's worth saying that there are a lot fewer clumsy off the ball collisions, because that did happen regularly on FIFA 12. So it's good to see that the fouls will be given for off the ball. Will the player impact engine be improved since FIFA 12? Because I know there are a lot of problems. EA have done a lot of work on ironing out the impact engine's infamous issues. Sorry, it's not perfect yet, but it's a massive improvement. The patches to push-pull especially are great with jostling situations. So they're saying obviously it's never going to be a perfect system, there's always going to be little faults, but they've said they've ironed it out. They've got rid of a lot of the problems that were in FIFA 12, but obviously, as they said, it is no way to say that it's perfect, no, because there's never going to be a perfect game by any means. Is there proper foot planting? The answer was unfortunately there is no major changes to foot planting, so that's exactly the same as it was for FIFA 12. Any changes to the quick throw-ins? This was new to FIFA 12, where if the ball went out you could quickly run, pick up the ball. That's the times they did pick up the ball, because a lot of the time they'd run over to the ball and they'd just stand next to it and you'd just be asking yourself why they're not picking it up. And the answer to that is yes, one of the rather exciting little features actually, as opposed to the quick throw-ins from FIFA 12, which often failed due to the player not being able to pick up the ball, as I just mentioned, they will now work a lot better. Also, a teammate can kick the ball to a thrower for a quick throw. That would be extremely interesting to see. The same thing exists for quick free kicks. So if the ball was like miles away, you wouldn't have been able to take the quick throw in on FIFA 12, but now in FIFA 13 any player on your team will actually be able to kick the ball to the teammate that's going to take in the free kick, so that presumably, I'm taking it that any throw-in will be able to take quickly. I've got a similar question here. Is the player impact engine still buggy? I wouldn't lie to say it was entirely flawless, as I just said, but it's hugely better than what it is in FIFA 12, which is I'm glad to hear, and I know a lot of everyone else will be glad to hear as well. And my computer's frozen now, so I won't be able to scroll down. How is the space this time around? Will there be more time on the ball? Definitely, this is primarily due to the match improvement tackling AI. You will have far more options who are better far positions and space as such, and you'll get more time on the ball, which is good, because a lot of the time on Ultimate Team, if you're playing on one of the smaller pitches as well, which is a lot of people do take into tactics pitch size, which I don't personally, but if you're on a small pitch, sometimes you'd be rushed. As soon as you got the ball, you'd have players running at you from all angles, and you'd be rushed off the ball quickly. So they're saying that It's one of the biggest improvements apparently on FIFA 13, so you'll have a lot more time on the board to make a decision about where you want to pass it, where you want to cross it, all that sort of stuff. Will we see mistakes from officials? This is extremely interesting questions. There shouldn't be any internal mistakes from officials as far as we know. Will encroachment, of whatever that means, is perhaps the only exception here, as you'll get away with a bit of encroachment from more lenient referees. Encroachment, I'm not entirely sure, my English skills are pretty poor here, what they mean by that, but a lot of the time, if you were offside by literally, and I mean literally a millimetre, what FIFA 12 would do, it would always count it as offside, which would be annoying because obviously in real life there's always those mistakes that have been made from the linesmen and the referees, and especially important games where we all know there's been decisions made by the referees which have been maybe the incorrect decision, but unfortunately that isn't going to be the case in FIFA 12. There shouldn't be any intentional mistakes from officials, so obviously from a game's point of view the game will be programmed to say if it's offside, it's definitely offside, if it's by a few yards or literally a few millimetres. Would it be able to pull the opponent's shirt intentionally while still risking a card? It's a good question. The new push-pull system sort of does this, but it's never an intentional shirt pull or deliberate foul. If you get too heavy on the jostling contact, then the referee will of course call it a foul. Will the defensive AI also be improved, or do your teammates still ball watch like on FIFA 12? One thing we did notice was that two-play ahead system seems to work for the team without the ball too, which we saw defensively with fullbacks anticipating balls and in behind better and covering their centre backs. It's really promising to see in massively reduced the power of balls over the top of your defenders, which are already on the move to deal with it rather than being stationary, is certainly one to keep an eye on. So obviously they're not trying to tell us too much in that question because they've obviously added in there, it's certainly something to keep an eye on, so hopefully they're developing that for FIFA 13. Any changes to the free kick taking? Obviously, if you've seen the trailer, you will know that they've advertised and promoted. They've made a lot of changes to the new FIFA 13 free kick taking. Yes, from both attacking and defending point of view. Defensively, you can now send a runner out to the wall to charge free kicks down. So obviously if you're defending a free kick, you'll know in real life sometimes of the defending team, they'll get their own defenders in the wall as well, so when the free kick gets taken they'll be able to kind of do a little bit of jostling and try and break up the wall. So that is what we'll be able to do in FIFA 13, which you've never been able to do on FIFA 12, which is good to hear. From the attacking side, you'll be able to put 3 players behind the ball, dummy the free kick twice and take the shot with the third, or dummy and take that player from the run behind, passing them off. So there's all sorts of dummies and layoffs you can do. Of the 5 announcements, it was one of the least interested in for some reason. Not sure why. I would have thought it'd been one of the biggest aspects, but having now played it, I think it is really good. It will shine on offline multiplayer. It will shine in offline multiplayer as it adds to a little bit of banter when you're in a room with someone. So what they're saying is it will be a lot of fun. It adds a bit of fun to the game because obviously in FIFA 12 they were limited. You could do a little bit of custom free kick. You could like lay it off to a second man. You could call a second man. You'd get the second man to take the free kick quickly. But obviously that was getting a little bit boring. They've added new ways of taking free kicks. And finally, last question for this video for part 1. Do we have new tackling? Do we have new attacking, dribbling or shooting animations? And then the answer from Dave was yes, lots, especially with the shooting, which now has a raft of new animations for volleys and some really impressive off-balance shots which demonstrates when your players are under pressure. So that would be extremely good to see the new animations for volleying, and especially when players are off-balance but they still manage to pull off a shot. So that is all the questions for this part 1. I will be uploading a part 2 in the near future. I'm not too sure when because I shouldn't really be making this video. I should be revising for my exams, but I had to have a break. So if you did enjoy this and if you did learn quite a few things from this for FIFA 13 and you are looking forward to it, then please do drop a like. It does help out my channel an awful lot. And please do leave your comments in the comment section below, leaving your opinions. And until my next video, I'll speak to you guys later. Take care.